Point in the killer's direction within 5 seconds of the perk premonition activating. Do this 2 times. Complete this challenge in a single trial. How many more requirements does this need to have? Maybe you need to be playing Adam on Gideon Meat Plant while facing the Xenomorph, and one of your teammates needs to have a rainbow map with the glass bead. In all seriousness, this challenge does not seem that bad after all, until you realize that maybe you need to wait for the whole animation to finish. Perhaps you have to do it before premonition triggers, in which case the description of the challenge is very poorly written. Or maybe the challenge is just bugged for no apparent reason and has been that way ever since 2021? And these aren't even the worst types of challenges. Finish repairing 4 gens in a single trial? Now, this one in specific can be a little easier by playing in a Swift, but like, drop a pallet to stun the killer 4 times in a single match? It's not that easy to get a good map for that, not to mention that even if you get a good map, the killer might just always respect pallets for some reason, and even when they don't, there's absolutely no guarantee that they won't just leave you after eating 2 pallets and refuse to chase you for the remaining part of the match. Some of these challenges are so hard to complete just because they are entirely dependent on what the other side does. Want me to continue listing more terribly designed challenges? Hit 6 survivors with 5 survivors in while you're catch a survivor and while you have 6 survivors. I could go on and on about specific challenges, but if I decided to do that for every single challenge, it would take quite a while and will probably get very boring pretty quickly. So I'll just start categorizing them. A certain type of challenges that I really do not like are the ones that are just so incredibly grindy. Sacrifice 20 survivors to the entity. Earn 15 emblems of iridescent quality. Cleanse 20 totems. Kill the obsession 10 times. Unlock 12 chests. Hit a survivor with your weapon 50 times. You get what I mean. But by far the worst ones in my opinion are those that literally require you to throw the whole game trying to complete them. Sometimes not even successfully. Have the killer come within 15 meters of a generator targeted by a red herring after the perk activates within 30 seconds. Do this 2 times in a single trial? Another type of challenge that I wanted to discuss are glyphs. Now don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily hate glyphs, I think the actual concept is really cool and some of them I don't have a problem with at all, like for example red glyphs. They're completely harmless, and yellow glyphs as well, which actually offer a really cool and interactive little minigame. But most other types of glyphs are absolutely awful. The main offenders of this are, in my opinion, white and orange glyphs. Let's start with white glyphs. First you need to commune with the white glyph, then you need to make sure that you don't get hit, don't fall, don't fast vault, and don't drop the pocket mirror on the ground since it'll just disappear. And then after all of that you have to locate the basement, which sometimes is on the complete opposite side of the map, and also look out for the 4 things you shouldn't do while holding the mirror. And finally after all of that you're able to successfully commune with the actual white glyph. So to summarize, you have effectively wasted 2 entire minutes of the match that could have been spent doing something productive, like sitting on a gen or getting chased for example. And some white glyphs require you to do that in 3 separate matches? The one redeeming thing about white glyphs however is that if you manage to escape with the pocket mirror, you actually get a pretty sizable blood point bonus. But with the orange glyph, you don't even get that as far as I'm concerned. Please let me know if I'm wrong though, I'm not quite sure about that. So with the orange glyph you get so many freaking debuffs, and these aren't even that small, like look at how awfully slow that is. Not to mention that when this glyph was first released, you would receive this absolutely hideous filter on your screen and some other kinds of strange noises. At least that got changed relatively quick though. Now I want to do a comparison between Dead by Daylight and Fortnite, which on the surface are completely different games, but in terms of their challenge systems are actually fairly similar in my opinion. Both games have battle passes, even though in DBD that's called the Rift, but we all know where that idea came from. And in order to progress through these battle passes, you need to complete challenges that award you with either XP in Fortnite or Rift fragments in Dead by Daylight. In both games, these can also be earned by just playing the actual game. Where they differ however is that in Dead by Daylight, you're only allowed to progress 1 single challenge at a time. You want to know what the limit in Fortnite is? Well, there is no limit. You can literally progress all incomplete challenges at the same time. Now you might say, oh well, but DBD allows you to complete older challenges from previous tomes. Well, yeah, but those don't give you rift fragments. What I love about Fortnite is that most of the challenges are so non-invasive that you either complete them without realizing or even knowing what the actual challenge was in the first place. And even the ones that clearly require you to go out of your way to do something in specific, most of them are just as simple as, like, for example, interact with a certain object or talk to a specific NPC. Oh, and also, in Fortnite there's this really convenient mode called Solo, where if you decide to do one of these specific challenges, you don't screw over your whole team like you do it, for example, White Glyphs in Dead by Daylight. Something else I wanted to talk about is how much time it actually takes to progress through the battle passes in these two games. In Dead by Daylight, I have never actually gotten to level 70 in the Rift, despite that being the game I play most often, while in Fortnite, sometimes I literally don't play the game for like 3 weeks or even a month, and yet it's so incredibly easy to catch up on all the challenges. What I'm trying to say is that even though I spent at least triple the time playing Dead by Daylight than Fortnite for the past 6 or so seasons, I always reach level 100 before the season ends, while in Dead by Daylight, once again, I've literally never gotten to level 70 in the Rift, even though I always make sure to have a challenge selected in order to progress through it. Now, I know this video might come off as just a rant to most of you, but as I said in the disclaimer at the start of the video, I don't intend to just bash and hate on the developers in Dead by Daylight as a whole. I absolutely love DBD and that's why I make content on the game. I want this to be the best game it can possibly be, and all I'm trying to do with this video is to point out perhaps what needs to be worked on and to offer suggestions on how to improve it. Also, Behavior has been pretty good with putting out some really great quality of life changes, like for example, making it so that you're able to select challenges while you're queuing for a match, adding an indicator that shows you the progress of the challenge mid-match, and implementing specific slots for survivor and killer challenges so that you don't have to keep switching challenges when playing different sides. What I think can still be improved though are the actual challenges themselves. For example, I would like to see challenges that are a little less grindy, like for example these ones. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying remove and never make unique challenges that require you to go out of your way to complete them, but just more simple, easy to do ones that don't feel like chores. For example, I think the memory shards challenges were a step in the right direction. Their concept is really cool in my opinion, and they aren't as annoying to complete as White Glyphs. The way they can be made even better, however, is to just make the different shards in the actual portal spawn a little closer to you, which will just be a nice quality of life improvement. Another suggestion I have is to make it so that, for example, you can select multiple challenges at the same time, similar to how that is in Fortnite. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comments. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then consider liking it and subscribing. Thanks a lot for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Give me a break, give me a break.